Alright, this is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and happy 2015. Happy New Year's to all you guys that are out there. And if you guys watching this have not yet purchased a juicer, this is the video that you guys are going to want to watch, because in this episode I'm going to share with you guys the best juicers of 2015. Right now, these are the juicers that are the best of the best for 2015 at the beginning of the year, and this video may change because during the year I'm confident some companies will come out with new juicers that expand on the technology that's currently available out there. At this point, each one of these machines have their pros and cons, and you know, in our society we always try to look for, you know, what's the best and what's the worst. And you know, to me, things isn't like, you know, always right or always wrong. You know, it's not always good or bad. There's always shades of gray in the middle. And that's kind of like how selecting a juicer is. You know, what's the best car? Right? Well, it depends what your needs are. If you got a big family, then you might want to get that minivan so you could tote around your whole family. A two-seater, you know, sports car would probably be very impractical unless you're a single guy that likes speed and likes to go fast, and you gotta want to get that two-seater so that you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whomever could enjoy the car and go super fast. If you're a working guy, you might need a truck, right? And I know you guys may understand this analogy. So juicers are pretty much like when you're going to select a car. It can be, you know, interesting, you know, because every car has its pros and cons. Some might have more trunk space than others. The seats might fold down so you can put long things in there, and you know, some get better fuel economy. And the same is true with juicers. You know, some cars cost more, some juicers cost more. And on this table I have the best juicers that I like the most, some of which have been out for many years now, some of which are, you know, fairly new to the market. And I'm going to go over each one and show you guys the pros and cons of each one so that you guys will be able to pick out the best juicer for you. Because in my opinion, the best juicer for you, honestly, is the one that you're going to use each and every day so you can make the health changes in your life that you want to derive, right? Health changes could be something like losing weight. You know, I've sold many juicers to people that have successfully lost weight and, more importantly, kept it off by including more fresh fruits and vegetables in their diet. And the juicers are simply the best appliances to do that because they allow you to take 5 pounds of carrots that I know probably nobody out there watching this could eat 5 pounds of carrots, you know. That's a lot of carrots. But you could take the 5 pounds of carrots, remove the fiber from the 5 pounds of carrots, and in about 4 to 5 cups of juice, depending on the juice you're using, get the nutrition out of the 5 pounds of carrots into you. And that is truly the beneficial, you know, uses of the juicer. It literally concentrates the nutrition so that our bodies can be fully nourished. In America, we are overfed and undernourished. Overfed in the terms of calories. People are eating high-calorie foods that are the junk foods, the processed foods, the fast foods. All these things come in packages, bottles, and jars, and the animal products. These products are very high in calories, but very low in nutrients such as vitamins, minerals, and more importantly to me, the phytochemicals and phytonutrients, you know, that are imperative to stay young, to stay healthy, and to live a nice, vibrant life. So I guess next let's go over each of the machines on the table. First, over on this side, you know, if you think, you know, what's the cheapest juicer, that's the best, right? If I had to say one at the $100 price point, which is that one, this one right here, this is called the Lequip Mini 110.5 juicer. This, for $100, is by far the best juicer on the market. Now, this is what's known as a centrifugal ejection style machine. And this style machine, how it works basically is that there is a fast spinning blade in here, right? Some of these centrifugal ejection juicers can run in excess of 10,000 RPMs, that's revolutions per minute. That's very quick. How this works is you put produce in, it gets shredded up by this blade. The juice is flung out this screen, out the front of the machine. So this is the kind of juicer that you will find at your local department store, frankly. And you know, many of those guys have short 90-day warranties and they don't work too well. This is a tried and proven model that has been out on the market for many years and is going to work the best for this style machine. Now, one of the drawbacks of this machine is actually it has a smaller feed chute. If you want the Lequip model with a larger feed chute, it's about $20 more, $119. This is the Lequip 215 XL with the wide feed chute. These have extraordinarily long warranties for their style, longer than any other juicer for a centrifugal ejection, which I like. You know, I want you guys to look at a juicer as an investment, and it's an investment in the most important thing you got. And most people do not realize this till they're maybe going to lose their life, like I did. I was in the hospital, almost lost my life, and the doctor said you might not make it out alive. And I thought about, holy shit, what's the most important thing to me? All the money that I didn't have in the bank, because even if I had money in the bank, I couldn't sign the check, Mr. Doctor, $1 million, do not cash unless John walked out of here. That would have done me no good. Money is not important. But your health is your greatest wealth. Without your health, you can't enjoy your grandkids, you can't enjoy your kids, you can't enjoy bedroom activities, you can't enjoy the pleasure of eating delicious foods, you can't enjoy watching movies if that's what you like to do, you can't enjoy sports cars, you can't enjoy gardening, you can't enjoy anything you want to do without your health, right? If you are immobilized, if you are not healthy, you can't fully enjoy and appreciate even others. So, you know, that's really the power of the juicing. And, you know, the juicer is an investment in your health, and it should also have a long warranty to protect your investment, right? If you go out and buy a juicer, and some juicers cost $400 and they have a 1-year warranty, which is ridiculous. If you're spending that much money on a juicer, it should have a nice long warranty. So I'm glad to say the Lequip has the longest warranty for centrifugal ejection machines. That being said, this style machines, centrifugal ejection style machines, whether it's the Lequip, whether it's a Walmart, whether it's whatever one you're buying, you know, they focus on juicing certain kinds of produce such as hard vegetables. Things like carrots, celery, cucumbers can be juiced actually fairly well in this machine, make a pretty good yield. Things like leafy green vegetables, which are the most important things to juice, actually perform quite poor in these machines. They kick out leaves almost whole and unjuiced. So it'd be far better to maybe chew them up, to blend them up, you know, instead of putting them through the juicer when you're going to lose a lot of yield. In addition, because these machines run at a high speed, they tend to inject more oxygen into the juice. I'm happy to say that actually they do not heat up your juice like some of my cohorts on YouTube may still be preaching. You know, they say the high-speed machines heat your juice. That's false. I've proven this false. I wrote an article about this. I'll do another video about it one of these days. But they do not heat your juice, but they do oxygenate your juice, which in my opinion is probably worse than heating your juice actually, because if a juicer does heat your juice, it's heating it up that much. It's not like putting it on the stove or anything. But it really bombards a lot of oxygen into the juice, which really breaks down, most importantly, the phytochemicals and phytonutrients. These are the things like lycopenes and things like some of the different properties in the cruciferous vegetables that have been shown to help fight cancer and whatnot. And these are the things that that's the reason why I'm really juicing, to get these phytochemicals into me. So, you know, in general, unless I have no other option, like I'm traveling and I'm at a friend's house, I just do not use any kind of high-speed juicers in my day-to-day life. So, you know, an advantage of the high-speed machines is that they are quick. So if you're like, John, I'm dedicated to juicing, but I don't want to invest a lot of time. I'm going to juice carrots and some celery, some apples, and make it taste good, because I know, like you say, juicing some vegetables is better than juicing no vegetables. Then yes, then you are the kind of person that might be good for this. You know, if you want to take it to the next step and you want to get more beneficial results, then I would say go with one of the machines on this side of the table. These machines are known as the slow juicers. They run at a low RPM. All of these guys actually run under 150 RPMs or revolutions per minute. And these are the style of machines that I personally like. Now each of these, they look different, they have their pros and cons, so let's go over each one of them. Up next here, the best juicer for 2015 is the Omega NC800. This is known as a horizontal single auger machine simply because it has a single auger or a single gear that spins around in the machine. And how this machine works is much like your old-fashioned meat grinder. You put produce in there, it basically gets crushed and squeezed, and the juice is wrung out of it. Comes through the screen here for stage 1, then stage 2, and drops out the bottom of the machine. The pulp is ejected out the front of the machine. Now because this machine runs at a low 80 RPMs, it's much quieter than the high-speed machine, and you will also need to push the produce in the machine as you would on that machine. Now the beauty of this machine is that, you know, the hardest part to clean on any juicer is the juicing screen. The juicing screen on a centrifugal machine, actually there's a lot of surface area, so you got to take a brush and scrub out each and every little hole, or else you will block the holes in the screen, which means over time your yield will go down and your juicer will not perform at its best. I'm glad to say that on the Omega NC800 it has a smaller screen area, so actually this one, it takes me less time to clean than that one. And of course, cleaning may be another important factor for you. In addition, this machine has the longest warranty in the juicing industry. It's a total of 15 years. So you know, you get a juicer once, you buy a good one, it's going to have a long warranty to support you and to support your healthy lifestyle that I know you're going to get on in 2015. Now once again, you know, this guy basically juices hard vegetables fairly well, also does fairly well with, you know, nice firm fruits. This guy, a little bit different. This guy will juice the leafy greens pretty much better than any juicer on the table when juicing straight leafy greens without anything else. This also does things like the sprouts and the microgreens better than any other juicer. Now, as to the vegetables, you know, hard vegetables like carrots, actually the centrifugal ejection will get a higher yield than this machine, although this machine, in my opinion, will make a higher nutrients in the juice. In addition, this machine does well when making combination vegetable juices with fruits. So if you want to juice some carrots, some apples, some ginger, some leafy greens, you put it through here, it's going to work very well. Another thing I like about the Omega NC800 is that it's pretty much, you know, very forgiving. And what I mean by that is that there's a very low learning curve. Basically, you stick stuff in there, you rotate what you're putting in there, and it juices it on up with minimal problems, with minimal clogging, minimal jamming, and it just works. The exception is if you're trying to juice like straight fruits, like if you're trying to juice pineapple in this machine straight up with nothing added, like with no carrots, it's going to hiccup at you and it's going to back up. I do have videos trying to show using a horizontal auger when juicing straight fruits. Doesn't quite work, but when you mix them with the vegetables, completely different animal, and it works amazingly. In addition, this machine will also allow you to make things like salsa, nut butters, sorbets, and even nut patés. And so that's why I like the Omega NC800. Next, my favorite style of juicer on the whole table is this next guy right here. And this is known as a vertical single auger style machine. My favorite top pick for 2015 at this time is the Slowstar juicer. And this is a vertical single auger juicer that's kind of like, you know, the updated version, maybe like second generation over the first generation that's been out for many years now, and many companies still are coming out with first generation machines. This is the second generation machine, and let me go ahead and explain how this works and why it's second generation and why this is my favorite for 2015. Okay, so unlike this is a horizontal auger, the auger is running horizontally, it's nice and long. This is a vertical auger. So in this machine, as you guys can see, the auger is right here, and instead of running horizontally, it runs vertically or up and down. Now, some of the revolutionary features in this auger is that it's a dual blade, so it has a blade on this side, blade on this side, which helps to cut up the produce a little bit better. I still, however, do recommend pre-cutting things like leafy greens and celery into minimum quarter-inch pieces to feed it in the machine. In addition, this has a different pulp path than most vertical auger style machines. Basically, the pulp path in the first generation, basically, it would grind up the produce, the juice would come out the screen there, then the pulp would have to go through a little small tiny hole in the juicing screen. In this juicing screen, there's basically no holes to deal with because the pulp path on this is that the pulp goes down the auger, goes up underneath the auger, and then it gets shot out, you know, the bottom of the screen and not through a hole. So this will reduce and will help reduce some of the backup and jamming that people have experienced in the first generation single auger machines. Of course, with any vertical single auger machine, I do recommend you guys watch my videos on how to properly use it. So I have a video entitled, you know, how to properly use your Slowstar juicer, which I would recommend before or after purchase if you haven't seen it, where I go over my tips on how to get the most out of your vertical juicer. Now, I like the vertical juicers personally because with my busy lifestyle, it's just basically cut and go. Really, you cut some of the produce up to fit in the feed chute here, you drop it in, it's literally self and auto feeding, so you don't have to sit there and tamper every produce item in like you would on the NC800. and it juices it on up. Now it juices, you know, leafy greens, probably about second best compared to this machine when doing them straight. I do recommend always juicing them with some harder vegetables like carrots or celery or something like that. It also juices fruits by themselves, probably better than any machine on this table, maybe except for the high-speed machine, which tends to oxygenate the juice. It does really well on the fruits. I mean, basically, if you just like, John, what juicer do I get? And I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm going to juice a little bit of everything. This is the juicer you want to get, because this pretty much juices it all, juices most things fairly well, you know, without having too many deficiencies. In addition, this is one of the rare vertical single auger juicers that also comes with a mincing attachment or homogenizing attachment, which will allow you to make things like nut butters and salsas and frozen fruit sorbets so that you can make healthy dietary changes. You know, not many vertical juicers are coming with that. In addition, they also have a nice stainless steel strainer to take out some of the extra pulp if you don't want it. You know, in general, the slower machines like the NC800 and the Slowstar will put more pulp in the juice than this guy over here. So if you're coming from a place where you had a centrifugal ejection and are used to low pulp, then you may not like the slow juices because they do put more pulp in the juice. Now, more pulp in the juice, there's nothing wrong with it. It may be a beneficial thing. There are some people that say, and some of the studies I've seen, say there's actually nutrients attached to the pulp that when you juice and you remove all the fiber, you're not getting some of those nutrients that are still bound in the pulp. I still believe there's plenty of nutrients that are not in the pulp that we will be digesting and getting better absorption from, because we have liberated the nutrients from the pulp, because our body has no mechanical means of liberating nutrients from the pulp. You know, we don't have like teeth in our stomach, and in addition, most people simply just do not chew their food well enough. So the Slowstar juicer has this attachment. It also has a nice 10-year warranty, has the second generation design, so it's going to work fairly well. It juices most things actually fairly well, is quick and easy to use, and fairly quick and easy to clean. It takes me under, I don't know, about 3 minutes to clean this machine. So I like that a lot. The TriBest company has also made some adjustments and improvements to the machine, like you know, improving the seals so it prevents the some of the leakage problem that they previously had. In addition, they put on this little juice flap here that prevents drips on your counter and will also allow you to do mixing inside your juicer. So yeah, that's the Slowstar juicer by TriBest. Now the last juicer I got, you know, this is probably the high-end juicer. You know, all the price varies on this machine from like $100 all the way up to $550. And this is called the Green Star Elite, and this works a little bit differently. Let me go ahead and show you guys this. This is what's known as a twin gear juicer. So, you know, these two slow juicers basically have plastic augers, but if we open up the Green Star Elite juicer here, as you guys can see, we have some nice stainless steel gears. For those of you guys that work on transmissions, these are kind of like two gears inside a transmission, and they literally spin inside the machine, and as they're spinning, they literally crush up the produce that you put in, and then basically it mixes the produce together to extract more nutrition out of it, and then it basically, the last stage as the pulp works down the gear, is it presses out all the nutrition. In addition, there's pocket reset teeth, you know, that will cut up things like celery strings and other strings and fibers in the leafy greens so that they don't clog up the juicer. You know, clogging can be a significant issue in the Slowstar, but will never, ever, ever be an issue in the Green Star Elite because of the way it's designed. Once again, every juicer has their pros and cons, and this video is meant as a general overview of all the different styles. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. Be sure to check my specific videos comparing, like, you know, different juicers against each other so that you guys can see exactly how they perform before you get it. So this machine, you know, if you want a machine that's going to make the highest nutrition bar none, you know, the Green Star Elite is the machine that I would recommend to you based on the testing that I've seen, based on me tasting the quality of the juice, based on some of the technology like the far infrared and magnetic technology in these gears. I believe this machine to produce the highest quality juice on the whole entire planet, bar none. especially when you're juicing things like the hard vegetables and the leafy greens together. In addition, it will make a very high yield, a higher yield than any other juicer on this table on the hard vegetables and leafy greens when juiced together. Now, all the slow juicers on this table will juice things like the wheatgrass. I do recommend always juicing wheatgrass with some hard vegetables. It's always going to make it work better. If you want to juice a lot of wheatgrass, I would recommend the NC800. These machines will juice wheatgrass alone, but they're not as efficient and not going to do it as well as the NC800. If you're trying to juice straight fruits in the Greenstar Elite, you got another thing coming. It's not going to work very well. You know, the Slowstar would be a much better juicer to juice straight fruits. And that being said, if you want to juice, you know, hard vegetables like some carrots, some apples, you know, some lemons, some leafy greens, some ginger, some turmeric in your Greenstar Elite, you know, with all those different items, it's going to work amazingly. Basically, the softer textures need something harder to help push it through the machine so that the juicer can extract all the juice out. Now, the Greenstar Elite has a 12-year warranty, which is the second longest warranty in the juicing industry. Tribest, that's been in business now for over 25 years, stands behind actually both these products here. So I'm confident to say that they'll be around for many years to come. The next thing I would like to say about the Greenstar Elite is that it also is a multi-function machine. So it will also allow you to make the things like the nut butters, the frozen fruit sorbets, the nut patés, and other things by basically allowing you to crush up produce and allowing it to come out. Probably one of the big negatives of the Greenstar Elite, and probably the reason why I don't use it, is because, you know, each of us have needs in life. You know, we all have needs, and we all have different needs on some level. So, you know, I have a need for being able to be done quickly and efficiently in the kitchen, which basically trumps my need for the highest quality, you know, produce and getting every last drop out of the fruit, vegetable, or leafy green that I'm juicing, right? So that's why I use the vertical machine, because I'm willing to give up some yield because it's so much faster and so much easier. You know, if you're one of those kind of people, John, I don't care about how long it takes to clean. I want the highest quality juice and the most yield. Then you're going to want to go with the Greenstar. You know, it is a little bit of a more challenging appliance to clean because there are several nooks and crannies and so many different parts, but you're by far going to get the highest quality juice and the most yield, you know, bar none when juicing a mixed fruit and vegetable juice overall. So I mean, that's pretty much it in this video. We went from a range from like $100 on up to $550. These machines are somewhere in the middle. You guys learned a little bit about each of the different styles: centrifugal ejection, you know, horizontal single auger machines, vertical single auger machines, and the twin gear machines. These are my top picks for 2015, and I look forward to juicer manufacturers always, you know, improving what they're coming out with, and I'm sure I'm going to be testing them when they do come out so that you guys can learn what is truly the best juicer. And I don't want you guys to wait to buy a juicer if you're waiting for the latest and greatest, because guess what? You're always going to be waiting, and you're not going to get the benefits from juicing each and every day. One of the good things is many of the high-end juicers have good resale values, and you can actually buy one now, start using it, getting the results, feeling better, and if something later comes out better, I'll let you guys know that you might want to upgrade. I mean, if you have one of the first generation vertical single auger juicers, I don't necessarily recommend, you know, getting the Slowstar because it's the second generation. You know, it's not significantly better for spending a lot more money. You know, you could always sell your old juicer, give it to a friend or family to help them improve their health. You know, but I want you guys to get juicing today so that you could be living the life you want tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to subscribe to me if you're not already. Be sure to check my past episodes. And when you're ready to purchase a juicer, be sure to visit me at discountjuicers.com. Once again, my name is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And what I'm going to do for you guys today is show you guys the best, fastest, and easiest way to lose weight without exercise by literally drinking something that you could